So welcome back to this closer look at the VQ off Tiger moth, which was distributed by Hobbyking. And before I actually start slagging it off, I need to say that I love flying this model. It flies really well. I really enjoy it. Flying with a 74 stroke up front, which does need a little bit of tweaking. That's the reason for the dead stick landing. But what is disappointing is the build quality. I suspect this is throughout the frame, but in this area, the actual undercarriage, it's a little bit more critical. This is all that was holding the front leg of the undercarriage on. There's actually very little evidence of any glue that's been applied here, and there was no attempt to glue to the front firewall, which would have made it much stronger. I personally think you need a gusset strengthener here into the because the force on landing is going to try and rip it out that way. So there needs to be a gusset in this area. When I do all of that and I epoxy it in, I'll show you before I sheet it over in balsa wood and then recover it. It's perhaps worth looking at anybody that's buying this kit. It's probably worth taking some of the covering off and reinforcing it. You do get supplied with some of this very odd peel off covering, so I would think it's probably a modification worth doing if you decide to build a model, because it would only be a matter of time before this parted company. So I'll keep you informed and show you how I get on with the next bit. So this is my solution to sorting out the issues with this almost ready to fly Tiger moth. The undercarriage, which became detached, has been epoxied in, not only on the sides, which was the only area which had any gluing at all, but also to the bulkhead. On the other side, which is an area you obviously can't see, I've also added 2 plywood gussets, which also attach this to the bulkhead. And finally, you can see here 2 really quite large plywood gussets with the emphasis on securing to this longitudinal side here, which have also been glued to the undercarriage plate and to the fuselage sides. Now I hope all those measures will transfer the stress through this area of the fuselage when the undercarriage is attached. Obviously the majority of the stress is in this direction. A certain extent obviously will be through the fuselage straight down when the undercarriage impacts the ground, but the main area of weakness in the original design was that the only fixing points were here and here, and I'm not altogether convinced how much glue was used to do that. So this will now be clad over the top in some hard balsa that I have. It'll be smoothed up, and then the undercarriage, once the covering's been added, will be reattached. These bolts need to be replaced on the prefabricated design that I came up with. A much stronger design. It'll get this model back in the air. I don't want to put a downer on it too much, because I actually love flying this model. Formerly with Hobbyking, the Tiger moth. It's a VQ design, and I hope to bring it back because I get a great deal of pleasure from it, and I hope others would too. Bye for now.